Good morning, judges and listeners. My name is Ngano Msonda, representing Group 22. My group members are Matungo Kayuna and Rafael Peri. And our project title is Assessing Factors Affecting Financial Literacy Among University Students in Kitwe, a case study of the Copperbelt University. The list of key terms and definitions. Our first key term is financial literacy, which is defined as a combination of awareness, knowledge, skill, attitude, and behavior necessary to make sound financial decisions and ultimately achieve individual financial well-being. Our second key term is financial inclusion, which is defined as access to and informed usage of a broad range of quality and affordable credit, savings, payments, investment, and insurance products and services that meet the needs of individuals and businesses. Our third key term is financial knowledge, which is defined as the understanding of financial concepts and risks that would provide the skills and motivations to make informed financial choices. Our fourth key term is financial capability, which refers to someone who not only has knowledge, understanding, skills, and confidence, but who in practice makes financial decisions and takes actions that are appropriate to his or her personal circumstances. The last key term is spending behavior, which refers to a way individuals use their money in order to satisfy their needs and wants. As we get to the introduction, as financial literacy is a significant factor that affects individuals, households, and the financial sector, and ultimately the economy at large. This is in line with OSFA and OGK 2014. The prerequisite of being financially literate is that it enhances the well-being of individuals and families on a micro level as well as the economy on a macro level. This is according to OTA 2020. The majority of the economy, that is the labor force, is made up of youths. Therefore, enhancing financial literacy among youths should be of utmost importance to policymakers, politicians, and other international organizations. This is according to TAPA 2015. According to FinScope 2020, the statistics show that youths have a higher level of financial literacy of 25.5%, while the current financial literacy rate in Zambia stands at 23.3%. Therefore, in line with the current statistics, the majority of Zambians are still lacking financial knowledge. Hence, our aim is assessing factors that influence financial literacy among university students, a case study of the Copperbelt University. And our main factors are savings behavior, spending behavior, financial attitude, parental influence, and peer influence. Our problem statement. According to statistics, the overall financial literacy rate in Zambia stands at 23.3%. However, recent statistics also show that youths are the most financially literate with 25.5%, while the old age people score the lowest with 16.9%. Therefore, in line with the statistics, financial literacy is still a major challenge in Zambia. This is according to FinScope 2020. Hence, the current statistics of financial literacy levels in Zambia are way below average. Although the financial inclusion rates are increasing, the majority of Zambians are still lacking financial knowledge. Most Zambians are likely to be exposed to high financial risks and obligation due to increasing complexity in design of financial services and products. As financial literacy enables individuals to make informed and sound decisions regarding their finances. A study by Muhammad and others, 2018, points that young generations of today are becoming reckless in their spending behavior, hence the need for financial education initiatives in higher learning institutions. Similar studies were previously carried out in Malaysia, South Africa, and Nigeria, but there has been little research carried out in a Zambian context. This has caused a limitation of generalizability. Our objectives. Our first objective was to evaluate the relationship between savings behavior and financial literacy of university students. Our second objective was to evaluate the impact of spending behavior on financial literacy of university students. Our third objective was to examine the impact of financial attitude on financial literacy of university students. Our fourth objective was to investigate the impact of family or parental influence on financial literacy of university students, while our fifth objective was to assess the effects of peer influence on financial literacy of university students. The theories underpinning this study are two. The first theory is the theory of brand behavior, which was used in a study by Osofa and GK 2014. The second theory is financial socialization theory, which was used in a study by Baron and Kerry 2020. These theories have been used in similar studies in different countries and research fields, such as the economics and finance field, as well as the social science field. The conceptual model. Our conceptual model had independent variables as savings behavior, spending behavior, financial attitude, family or parental factor, and peer influence, while our dependent variable was financial literacy. This conceptual model was adapted from Muhammad and others 2018. The hypothesis. The hypothesis was related to the conceptual model in that the first new hypothesis indicated there is no relationship between behavior and financial literacy, while the alternative hypothesis indicated there exists a relationship between behavior and financial literacy. Our second new hypothesis indicated there is no relationship between family or parental factor and financial literacy, while the alternative hypothesis indicated there exists a relationship between family or parental factor and financial literacy, while our third new hypothesis indicated there is no relationship between peer influence and financial literacy, while the alternative hypothesis indicated there exists a relationship between peer influence and financial literacy. The research design. To test the hypothesis, we used a quantitative research strategy in which correlation design was used, as it examines relationships between variables as recommended by Chris Wall 2014. And according to the CBU website, the university has approximately 12,000 students, and with this population, Rawsoft calculator systematically sampled a sample of 373 at 95% confidence level with a margin error of 5%. The data correction tool used was an online questionnaire with a 5-point Likert scale. And data was analyzed using statistical package for social science, that's SPSS, in which we mainly focused on factor and reliability analysis, correlation analysis, and hierarchy multiple regression. The results. In line with the questions employed to measure the factors, that is savings behavior and other factors. Savings behavior had a Cronbach's alpha of 0.792. Spending behavior had a Cronbach's alpha of 0.771. Financial attitude had a Cronbach's alpha of 0.864. Parental factor had a Cronbach's alpha of 0.814, while peer influence had a Cronbach's alpha of 0.642, and finally financial literacy had a Cronbach's alpha of 0.539. Therefore, the outcomes are within the recommended range. This is in line with Palant 2011. Our sample profile. The sample profile comprised of 373 respondents, and out of the 373 respondents, 49.6% were male, while 50.4% were female. Under marital status, the majority respondents were single with a percentage of 92%, while the age group between 18 and 25 of years were the majority respondents with a percentage of 83.1%. We had more than 3 control variables, but due to time, we focused on these 3 control variables. Descriptive statistics, that is on table 5.2, which shows the correlation among variables, in which gender and other control variables show to have no significant impact with other variables in the model. However, there is a significant relationship between the independent variables and the dependent variable, as the results indicate that peer influence had a significant correlation with financial literacy of 0.672, and the results also show a strong correlation of parental influence with financial literacy of 0.578. However, there is a weak correlation between the remaining variables and financial literacy. Nevertheless, all these correlations are significant at 0.01 significant level. The hypothesis testing. Our overall results for the research indicate that there is a positive relationship between the independent variables and the dependent variable, in that our variables were supported at a significant level of 1%. The significance of this study. The first contribution of this study is that it will provide evidence on the applicability of the theory of planned behavior and financial socialization theory in the Zambian context of university students. Our second contribution is that there will be knowledge addition to existing literature. Our third contribution is that It will promote the social and economic development of individuals, households, businesses, and the economy at large. So the implications of the study are that one, it will help to alleviate the financial problems that university students face. That's on a day-to-day basis. And the third implication is that it will help financial institutions to come up with products which are tailor-made to fit into students' needs. The third implication is that policymakers will be able to come up with the appropriate tools and programs aimed at enhancing financial literacy levels of students. And our last implication is that it will serve as a reference to the researchers and academicians for future related topics. The limitations and future directions are that the first limitation is that the scope of this study is restricted to Kitwe and does not represent other cities or the entire Zambia. So this is a big limitation that other other researchers need to consider. The third limitation is that this research was quantitative in nature. Therefore, further studies can consider using qualitative method. The third limitation is that this study was only based on the theory of planned behavior and financial socialization theory. So further studies can consider using more theories. The fourth limitation is that a sample size of 373 was used. Hence, further studies can consider using a larger sample size for more accurate outcomes. The last limitation, and this one hit us the most, is that this study was conducted under limited time and under limited financial resources. In conclusion, this study has achieved its objectives, in which its aim was to assess factors affecting financial literacy of university students in Kitwe, Zambia. On that note, we end our presentation. Thank you for listening. Any questions?